Hello, everybody. Welcome back to lettermenrow.com. It is Monday morning, and that means it is another episode of Birminology. Today, I am welcoming in 2024 linebacker Edwin Spillman, a prospect in the class of 2024, as I said, who has an offer from Ohio State and visited the Buckeyes for the home game against Akron. We'll talk to Edwin about that visit, his opportunity to camp with the Buckeyes in the summer, and just really try to get a feel for what is going on in his recruiting and how he sees it going for him. So without much else to say, let's get to the show. Welcome, Edwin Spillman, to the show. Edwin, how are you, man? Thanks for taking some time to join us. How has life been for you in these last few weeks? I'm sure it's been pretty fun getting to travel around and see some places.
It's been good, yes, sir. Just been traveling and just going to college visits and everything.
How important is it for you, do you think, to get these early visits in? Obviously, you're only a sophomore in high school. You're at Lipscomb Academy down there in Tennessee, Trent Dilfer's program. You're getting a chance to see a lot of things from Coach Dilfer, but now you're getting a chance to see the next step. How important for you is that right now?
It's really important for me because I get to go and build relationships with the coaches early and just pretty much just see how the program over there is ran and everything. So I get a good feeling for it.
Yeah, obviously, we cover Ohio State on Lettermen Row, so we'll talk about that first. But you did camp with the Buckeyes in the summertime. You had an opportunity to work with Al Washington at that camp. There was a hope for you to get back up to Columbus for the Buckeye Barbecue and Bash at the end of July. That didn't happen. Then there was the hope to get up for the Oregon game. That couldn't happen. And then you show up for the Akron game. What was the game day experience for you like at Ohio State when you were in town for that Akron game, a night game, which is always fun?
I loved it. I loved that game. The environment there was wild. Everybody, when I was walking around, everybody was just basically telling me to come to Ohio State, and it's the place to be. I really enjoyed going over there and touring and visiting just the places and the facility.
Now, for you, with the relationship you've been developing with Al Washington since the summer, because you are a 2024 prospect, they can't talk to you that frequently. It's not open conversation. But how is that relationship building gone for you? And what is it that you guys connected on? What do you guys feel like that relationship is being built
on? Just him wanting to coach me, and then from me going to camp, and then just me working with him, and then our relationship has definitely grown. He got to when I went down yesterday and I visited. I got to speak to him a little bit before the game, and he just we got to know a little bit more about each other and where my background is and where I came from, and also I got to learn about his family and everything like that.
Your background is an interesting one. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But as far as Ohio State goes, what did you gain out of that camp experience? You came to Columbus sort of unknown. You came up with one of your teammates, Caleb Beasley, and then you got offered that day because of your performance at the camp. I mean, were you surprised by that? What did you really like about the way that Al Washington taught or coached? Or, how did that trip in the summer set the tone for this game day visit?
I really just enjoyed how we instructed this recruits. I felt I just felt like he was a great man, and just the things he was teaching me were really helpful and stuff that I used during the camp. But yeah, it was great. It was a great trip. I wasn't really expecting to get offered by them. I was just I was going to go down there and give it my all, and that's what I did.
As you watched the Buckeyes defense in person, do you see the role that you would fit? I mean, obviously right now you're young. You're only a sophomore, as I said. So you may grow a little bit. Your recruiting profiles have you listed at 6'1", 205. But where do you think you're going to end up physically, and how do you see that translating to the Ohio State defense?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I feel I was talking to Coach yesterday, and he was talking to me about just he's going to put me, if I do decide to come over there, just going to put me pretty much just everywhere, from blitzing the edge to covering, and then also just being a linebacker, basically just doing everything. And yes, sir.
Are they talking about that bullet roll that Ronnie Hickman, number 14, was playing? And is
yes,
that something that you like, that sort of flexibility?
Yes, sir. I watched them when I watched them a lot when they played Akron. That's basically my role. here at Lipscomb. That's basically what I do, but without a lot of the safety stuff that he did.
I mean, is that sort of versatility that seems to be the wave of the future when it comes to college football? You've got offers from a handful of schools already, including Ohio State, Georgia, Boston College, who Ohio State fans know Jeff Hafley very well, and from the defense that he ran in Columbus. Do they all see you in that same role, that sort of attacking safety / linebacker role?
I haven't. I'm guessing yes, but right now, Coach Washington's the only one who's like really like described to me what he sees me playing at college and stuff like that.
It is sort of like a crapshoot because you don't know exactly how much taller you get or how much weight you put on or any of that stuff over these next 2 years. Your recruiting sort of took off even before the summer came, Edwin, with the Georgia offer. Were you expecting any of this to happen when it did? And how have you been just dealing with, this part of it, the publicity, the having to talk to people like me? Is it something that you feel comfortable with? Is it something you're starting to get more comfortable with?
Yeah, it's definitely something I'm like getting more comfortable and getting more used to it. I mean, this summer I knew I was going to get some offers, but like I wasn't expecting to get like all these big offers that I got so early.
What has been the message from Chuck Diddle about that? Obviously, he's a guy that won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens, but he wasn't a highly recruited guy when he went to Fresno State. Has he been able to sort of shape or mold your experience and let you know what to expect?
Yes, sir. Yeah, me and my family actually talked to him a lot about that stuff. He kind of like directs me with all of it. He just tells me to like just keep on working and like keep my head down and like just ignore all the buzz and just do your job, and then good things will happen out of it.
We had a big feature story on you on Lettermen Row, and in that story, talk about a little bit about your background, coming over from Sierra Leone when you were 7 years old and starting to play football here in the States. I guess now 5-6 years ago. But did you ever think that this sort of opportunity would be in front of you? I mean, or has it all been sort of surreal and a surprise?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's definitely been surreal. I used to play soccer, so I didn't really like ever thought about like all the stuff happening to me with football. But yeah, it's definitely been crazy.
Do the people back home in Sierra Leone get mad at you when you call American football instead of soccer football?
Yeah, a lot of them get really confused with all of that. Especially
I get really confused when I watch soccer because I don't understand the game at all. But I don't know that I always understand American football either. But where do you see your future going? As far as the game of football, how far away are you from really feeling like the game? I mean, where's the area for you to still improve the most?
Definitely just like I'm still working on like having great eyes and stuff like that, and also just like stuff I could improve on is just like always just.
Well, every day is a day to get better, right? I mean, every single day you're trying to figure out how to improve, how to enhance what you do.
Yes, I'm still working on like that, obviously getting stronger and like heavier and everything, and just like work on my hands and technique and everything like that, because that goes a long way.
As you made your first college visits this summer and got a chance to see the athletes that are at these schools, is that an eye opener for someone? I know down at Lipscomb, you're again as a sophomore, you're playing a lot, you've got big offers, and it's easy to feel like you're the top of the mountain, right? But then you get to a place like Ohio State and you meet kids who are DeJuan Jones, who's 6'9", 380 pounds, and could run like a deer. Is that kind of eye opening to you?
Yes, yeah, it definitely was. When I saw him, I was just like really amazed that he was that big and can like move like that. But yeah, it's definitely a different game and everything from college to high school to college.
What do you think for you? I mean, where have you improved the most from this past summer, getting a chance to go to these colleges and to go to these camps? And where did you improve the most from the summer to now?
At a lot of these colleges that I went to, we did a lot of one-on-ones and coverage and everything like that. So I feel like I've like definitely grown in coverage and like just guarding people man to man.
For you, Edwin, what's next on the recruiting front? I mean, where else are you still visiting this season? Or is there any conversation about getting back to Ohio State for maybe the Penn State game or the Michigan State game? And where else do you want to see this season?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna definitely try and go back up. I don't know when, but a couple more. I think I have a couple more visits planned. I think I'm supposed to go to Georgia and Tennessee and a couple of other schools soon.
If you could script out these next 2 years, how do you see your recruitment going? Is there a date in mind that you have circled? And you're like, I want to know my college choice by this day, or is it a matter of, hey, when I know, and that's when I'll make a decision?
Yeah, it's probably just when I know, like I'll know, and then I'll just go ahead and go wherever suits me best, make my decision.
As a young guy, you kind of have a unique opportunity because you've seen a lot of places already. Do you feel like it's important to be a leader in a class and maybe understand that committing early gives you an opportunity to help shape and mold who else you play with, or is that not something you think about?
Right now, I haven't really thought about that yet, but yeah, I could definitely see it being a possibility.
Well, you got a lot of possibilities in front of you, man. So I appreciate you taking time and coming on the show and giving us a little bit of insight into how things went. Last thing, and I'll get you out of here. What was the one biggest like takeaway moment, the aha moment from your visit to Ohio State for the Akron game? What was the one thing that stood out the most?
Probably just like how everybody there was like super down to earth, and then just like everybody wasn't just like nagging me on about like telling me like this is the best school. They also told me a bunch of different like facts about the school and everything. I really enjoyed it, especially like they told me a lot about the life after football program at Ohio State, and then I just really enjoyed that. Just that program, like hearing about it.
Well, it's something that I'm sure you'll hear a lot more about over the next 2 years. So I'm going to let you get on with your night. I know you're exhausted probably from a day of traveling. So thank you once again for taking time to join us, man.
Yes, sir. No problem.
That's Edwin Spillman, Ohio State offer in the class of 2024, linebacker from Lipscomb Academy in Tennessee. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. This has been Birminology on Lettermen Row. Thanks for watching.